America, a nation known for towering skylines, vast national parks, snow-covered mountains, and endless highways. But in the summer of 2026, something extraordinary happened. Entire cities turned into ovens. Roads began softening, railway tracks warped, power grids strained under record demand. Hospitals prepared for a surge of heat-related emergencies. And millions of Americans found themselves trapped beneath an invisible force. Not because of a hurricane, not because of a tornado, not because of a wildfire, but because of extreme heat. The terrifying question is, was this just another hot summer? Or are we witnessing the beginning of America's new climate reality? Stay until the end, because what scientists discovered about this heat wave could completely change how we think about the future of our planet. This wasn't a heat wave affecting one state. It spread across much of the United States. Temperatures climbed above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, with heat index values exceeding 110 degrees Fahrenheit in many areas. Heat alerts stretched from the Great Plains, through the Midwest, across the South, and into the Northeast. In many places, the nights never truly cooled down. Normally, nighttime allows our bodies to recover. But during this event, even after midnight, temperatures remained dangerously high. For millions of Americans, there was simply no escape. How can so much of the United States become dangerously hot at the same time? To answer that, we first need to understand what happened in the atmosphere. Imagine placing a glass bowl over a candle. The hot air becomes trapped. Now replace the candle with the America. High-pressure systems settled over America. The atmosphere acted like a giant lid. Every day, the ground absorbed sunlight. Every night, the heat stayed trapped. Day after day, the temperatures kept climbing. Eventually, many locations reached levels rarely seen in American history. But there was another factor making everything even worse. Why did cities become even hotter than the countryside? Cities are built with concrete, steel, glass, and asphalt. These materials absorb enormous amounts of heat. Then, long after sunset, they slowly release it back into the air. Scientists call this the urban heat island effect. In some neighborhoods, nighttime temperatures remain several degrees hotter than nearby rural areas. Air conditioners ran continuously, electricity demand surged, power grids came under pressure. For vulnerable people, especially the elderly, these hot nights became deadly. Because without cooler nights, the human body never gets a chance to recover. Could this heat wave have happened naturally? The answer may surprise you. According to climate scientists, heat waves have always existed, but today's heat waves are different. The Earth's average temperature has already increased by more than 1 degree Celsius since pre-industrial times. That may sound small, but it dramatically increases the likelihood of extreme heat events. Recent attribution studies show that human-caused climate change has made many extreme heat events significantly more likely and more intense. In other words, nature created the weather, but global warming loaded the dice. Scientists now warn that what was once considered a once-in-a-century heatwave could become much more frequent if greenhouse gas emissions continue to rise. If America is heating up this quickly, what happens next? Extreme heat doesn't only affect people, it affects everything. Railway tracks expand, roads soften, power demand spikes, rivers shrink, hydropower generation falls, farmers lose crops, livestock suffer, wildfires spread faster, smoke fills the air, emergency services become overwhelmed. A single heat wave can trigger a chain reaction across an entire economy. What begins as hot weather can quickly become a national emergency. Is this only America's problem? Or is the entire world entering an era of extreme heat? Scientists say extreme heat is becoming more frequent across much of the world. The United States is not alone. Europe, Asia, Australia, South America, and even parts of the Arctic have experienced increasingly severe heat waves in recent years. As the planet warms, heat waves are expected to become more frequent, longer lasting, and more intense. The challenge is no longer predicting whether another heat wave will happen. It's preparing for when it does. Cities are planting more trees. Communities are expanding cooling centers. Governments are strengthening heat action plans. Researchers continue improving early warning systems. But experts warn, Adaptation alone may not be enough if global temperatures continue rising. The summer of 2026 may be remembered as more than just another record-breaking heatwave. It may become a turning point. Extreme heat is no longer an occasional disaster, but a growing part of everyday life. The question is no longer, can this happen again? The question is, how much hotter will the next one be? Because somewhere, another heat dome is already forming, and somewhere, another record is waiting to be broken. If you found this documentary informative, consider subscribing for more science and climate documentaries that explain the biggest events shaping our world. Because understanding what's happening today may help us prepare for tomorrow.